meeting to order. This is a special meeting of the Harrison County Board of Education. It's a closing hearing concerning Washington Irving Middle School. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
all present, and Mr. Warner is joining us. It brings us down to delegations. Our speakers tonight each have 5 minutes to speak, no yielding of time. As per our rules of the meetings, questions will be written down if questions are asked from the people who speak, and then those will be asked at the conclusion by the board members of staff at that time. So we have 5 speakers to speak, and first up is Wendy Oliveira.
I need that mic. I feel like I've got a big enough teacher voice. My name is Wendy Oliveira, and I'm a 6th grade teacher here at WI Middle School. I am also a team leader, faculty senate vice president, PDS coordinator, and chair of the LSIC committee. I read the closure book cover to cover. You've been given the daunting task of making the most of what Harrison County has to place the best needs for our students. It is disappointing that WI will not be getting a new school, but we will be getting a new beginning. One that will be faced with challenges, but ultimately those involved will join together and make the new school inviting and welcoming for our students, because that is our job, teaching children and providing a safe and nurturing educational environment. After the ink dries and the final decisions are in place, I would suggest posting the administrative positions. Give those 4 individuals the time this summer and next summer to work together, plan together, and grow as a strong administrative team. We are going to be looking to them for support and guidance. Each of them needs a copy of the floor plan of Liberty High School so decisions can be made about classroom assignments. The more things we do alike next year, the better. We need to find some common ground. This should help eliminate some of the problems with combining our schools. Discipline should be uniform across the county, but things like dress code, assemblies, field trips, PBIS activities should look very similar, so we can eliminate. We could do that at WI, but now we can't because we're with Mountaineer. Or we could do that at Mountaineer Middle, but now we can't because of WI. Currently, I'm in a very unique situation because my 6th graders, everything is new. Our new middle school will be the largest middle school in Harrison County. Let's make it the best. I am looking forward to continuing to be a positive influence in my school and my home community. After the positions are filled for the new middle school, I would suggest having a meet and greet. Let the new staff get to know each other. Make it informal. The administrative team will already have rooms assigned. Give teachers the opportunity to look at their new workspace. Making my classroom inviting is very important to me. What do I need to purchase? What can I use that I already have? I have often wondered how I would feel towards the end of my career. I did not imagine that I would be part of a new combined middle school, and I've done a lot of reflection. This is not about me. It is about the students. It is about me doing my part to make the new middle school a good one and to make the transition a smooth one, reassuring the community that we will be okay. Those of us who will be a part of the new middle school will be like our students. We will be nervous and anxious. Our students and families will come to us for support, but we will make new friendships and we will be a part of something new. We have the opportunity to form new traditions, set high standards for student achievement, and provide many different educational opportunities. For me, it will be the final chapter in my career that has lasted over 30 years, filled with many classrooms and hundreds of students. I will miss 443 Lee Avenue because it has been my second home for the past 15 years. Being a student at WI High School gave me the opportunity to have some wonderful teachers. It allowed me to engage in journalism classes and enjoy theater. 40 years later, I'm still here, and my classmates from 1983 will not let me forget it. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past and present will certainly miss the future. According to Jimi Hendrix, in order to change the world, you have to get your head together first. After attending several meetings, I know that this is the best decision for the students of Harrison County. Every child deserves to have highly qualified and certified teachers in their classroom. Happy is the person who lost his old path but found an adventurous new one. I have been blessed with a wonderful career. All kids need a little help, a little hope, and somebody who believes in them. My students learn so much more than English content in my classroom. We form a bond that lasts a lifetime. That is why I do what I do, and I will continue to try to be the very best teacher, no matter my location. Thank you.
Thank you. Susan Farrell?
I'm Susan Farrell, and I'm the current principal at Washington Irving Middle School. I'd like to welcome you all here this afternoon to this pretty monumental occasion with the WIMS and Mountaineer Middle School consolidation meeting. We gather today with a shared vision and a united purpose. That is to create a new middle school that will shape the future of the community and for generations to come. The merging of two middle schools is no small feat, and we will acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead. It is these challenges that make our mission all the more important. By joining forces, we have the opportunity to build a stronger, more inclusive educational institution that will benefit every student in our feeder system. We have an incredible staff, a team comprised of both seasoned veterans and fresh faces. Together, they bring a wealth of knowledge, experience, and passion to the table. It is through their dedication and commitment that we will overcome obstacles that may arise. This consolidation of the two schools is not solely about the teachers and administration. It's about our entire community coming together to create something extraordinary. Each of us has a vital role in shaping the future of our new middle school. Whether you are a student, community member, or an advocate for education, your voice and involvement are crucial to our success. Together, we will lay the foundation for a great new middle school that will serve as an example of excellence and opportunity. Thank you for being here today, and let's begin this journey together.
Thank you. Stan Hefflin?
Good evening. I suppose you're all sick and tired of hearing from me about this second time, but as with the numerous speakers that have talked last night, over the last several meetings, and really over the last several months, again, they don't feel like they're being heard. Last night we were provided several citations to studies and data from speakers pointing to not only the issues with larger schools, but the issues with consolidation in general. I appreciate the professional nature of the two speakers before me, the teachers, and I have no doubt that they have the child's interest at their absolute, at the core of what they do. But I feel for them. I feel for them when you put a middle school, it's going to be between 800 and 1,000 students, which is more than the recommended amount for a middle school in the state of West Virginia. It will make it among the larger middle schools in the state of West Virginia. With the amount of IEPs, the amount of special needs that these schools have, when you combine these two schools and the nature of what you're doing it, especially in the rush nature of what you're doing, without a true plan for how that's going to happen, before you vote, you're only going to make their job so tough, you're going to make their working environment tough, and you're going to cause children to fall through the cracks. Every single study that I have looked at in consolidation says that children will fall through the cracks. That's what happens. You have less athletic participation. Ultimately, you talk about more academic, but you end up having less participation in extracurricular activities. Some academics. The truth is, yeah, you may be buying teachers, but you're still going to be cutting 50 positions. And we're going to have larger classes. years is some of the most formative that there are for a child. That's why the state has a recommendation. Mr. Tucker, at the last hearing, actually at a hearing in October, you specifically addressed this concern. You talked about your concern with cutting this number of students into a school, to a combined middle school. You know what? My question, and this is addressed to you, is what information has been provided to you to alleviate these concerns? We've seen no specifics on a plan. We've seen no specifics on how you're going to address the extra security needs, the extra staffing needs, the IEP needs. We just haven't seen it. If that information exists, why hasn't the public been given it? If it does exist, can you please point it to us? I'm sure the teachers would agree, GA, that this plan, if it does go through, be undertaken in such a way that it benefits the children, not being thrown to the wolves. Ms. Francis, last night you referenced information and asked questions about these specific plans. And again, I ask you, is this document, the closure document, the totality of the information that's been presented to you? And if it is, don't you think it's not in the children's best interest to vote until you have the answers to all of the questions that's been presented to you? Busing is going to be a major issue. So is an ingress and egress of the new middle school. Again, if there have been traffic studies, please point to those. If there have been discussions, please point to those. Starting off day one in a new middle school with a litany of problems is not going to benefit these kids, and it will take years to recover from if you walk into this doing it in a half major. Ms. Stuckler, you have descriptive maths. I have a few specific questions now. Page 10, you have some descriptive maths on here. One of them, it looks like you copied up a MapQuest or Google Map document. It shows the time commute between Washington Middle and Mountain Middle is 10 minutes. I just have a couple specific questions regarding that data. What time of day did you pull that information? And what day did you pull that information? And then second of all, was there any professional studies on that? If there is a busing plan that's been provided with specifics, where is it? Can you advise the people before you vote? Wouldn't you like to discuss it before you vote? There is a large number, I think I've already asked you this question about you know what, change is important, I agree, and change is part of life. But the wrong type of change, or change that's not planned in the correct manner, that's not right. That's called incompetence. I ask you not to be incompetent. I ask you to get the information before you make a decision. I have nothing else. Thank you.
Toby Knight.
So, Mr. Hammock, during your statement in the newspaper, you said that a decrease in population for the students was a main driving factor for this of the schools. So, if the students are decreasing in the schools, that's driving this factor, why then would we be giving the students yesterday transfer letters, asking them if they're willing to transfer to other schools? We're going through meetings, community meetings right now to see whether this is going to happen, whether we're voting on this, or what the future is. But we're actively trying to have kids relocate from going to one school that they should be district to another one. Why are we doing that right now? Why is that happening today? Why is that not happening after a decision has been made? Was you aware that this was being handed out? Okay. And I completely agree that we need some, the schools need to be ran the same. What goes for WI needs to go for Mount Airy Hill. They need to have a common policy on a bunch of stuff. Letting the principals have 100% autonomy on how they run the schools. That's going to be hard. That is going to be hard to bring those two schools together. I do agree that they need to do it. Back to yesterday, I had a question of How do we come up with these times for these meetings? Again, I've been to a lot of the board meetings. I still haven't heard how that was ever voted on. How are we doing this? Little things matter. Details matter. You're getting ready to try to close 9 schools. 6 schools. Well, this isn't just consolidating or merging 2 schools. This is a huge, huge monumental task. We need to have a lot more details on how we want to implement this than just say, hey, we want to do it next year. I feel for the staff so much. It's hard enough to get ready for a year moving into a new building that's only your building, which is what WI should have. They should have their own building. It doesn't. They've been moved around too many times. They need their own building. That's where it should. But if it is what it is, they have to get merged. We need to start working on it now. But first, think about it. We're moving way too fast. We're moving at high school, middle school, and elementary schools at the same time. How's your custodians even going to get to school ready? How's that even going to work? There's so much unknowns in this. Is change inevitable? Absolutely. Is change needed? Most of the time. But going too fast isn't easy. You can cause more problems than it's worth. These kids are our future. They're learning from us. Let's teach them how to do things the right way. Don't rush into something. Have a plan. Figure out what really needs to be done. And then execute it to the best of the ability. This just seems like this is just halfway doing it, that we're just, oh, let's try to get this done before something else happens. You guys have a lot of balls in the air right now trying to juggle. Already, test scores, best test scores around. Why are we focusing on that? The building's not going to make that better. We need to get better at what we're doing. That's all I have.
Thank you. Jerry Riffle, our final speaker.
So I know what it's like to be up there from the community. We face certain things in the city about raising taxes and things like that. I don't think that compares to what you guys are going through, so I definitely, understand it's tough. I know every school is kind of different. Liberty's a different situation than WI. Now I know they're all happening at the same time, but I think every story is different for every school. This school's old. I mean, I went here. I was in Mr. Hoag's office several times here. I don't know if he remembers or not, but now about 15, 20 years ago. So I understand the school's got to go, but I worry about what happens to the community, obviously coming from a city council perspective and representing kind of the citizens of Clarksburg. The gym is new, I think built in the 1980s. I would like to take that as an opportunity to give that back to the community that the school is leaving from, to try to offset some of the impact it's going to have on the community. I'd like to open up a conversation, a consistent conversation with the city and the Board of Education consistently, because all these schools are impacting the city of Clarksburg. We're getting the questions. Luckily for us, we can just say it's not our fault this time. It's all on you guys. But we get these questions and we want to give them answers. We want to help them, and we want to be a part of what happens to our citizens. So, one thing that I noticed last night, which was very alarming, I wasn't really expecting, but it made sense after. All the speakers last night, I think there were about 25, 30, everybody had like 5 minutes to speak. The city of Clarksburg, the words city of Clarksburg was said twice. Once because it was Clarksburg Police Department, and the other was something random, I forget what it was exactly.
Me.
What's that? The only person from Clarksburg. So the one thing that will unite these two schools is the city of Clarksburg, but it's not even said. So I think that speaks to the difference of the communities. They are separate. It will be a tough merge between the two types of people. They don't even share anything in common, not even the city they live in. And just spoke pretty volumes, I think, to me to hear that word not even being used. I will say, I know Northview and it's a different discussion in WI, and I think the city of Clarksburg has dropped the ball on holding our end on keeping these streets clean. Lee Avenue should be in, I think, 16th Street. Is that what Northview's on? But it was our responsibility to make those streets some of the best streets in the city. It should be the top streets on our city. Code enforcement, police department, we should have done better at that. If Northview is not to move or to do something like that, I think it's, our responsibility to do a better job cleaning those streets up. And I think a good communication moving forward between the two, constant communication, constant meetings with our new city manager and the superintendent. I request those things do happen. Our city manager, she loves the idea. She thinks it's very important. When she first got here, one of the first few meetings she took was, inviting superintendent to meet. It was very important to her because she understands it, how important it is. So I want those type of conversations to continue. I also worry about the youth when it comes to programs. The Board of Education has been great. Mr. Hamrick and Mr. Lopez, when the Jerry West basketball league was almost trying to go under, the Board of Education stepped up and helped. And that's been huge for our community, so I want to thank you guys for that. But I worry about consolidation, if that may change, gym time, availability, and things like that. Ability to reach out to help those other programs. So I worry about that moving forward. I hope we can continue to have those conversations. Our league is growing. It's very important for our city. I want to keep pushing that. Something I'm passionate about. Somebody mentioned something about a community impact study. I don't know if that was done or not. I don't know if it's a requirement. I think somebody may have mentioned it yesterday. Maybe I heard something else. If that is a real study, I don't if it's done or not. I like to see it or share it with the city. And I just want to have a plan together to replace the void at the end of the day. And in closing, today was my first day driving the school bus. My first day, they called me 5 o'clock in the morning. They said, it'll be a rare occasion when they call you that early. They'll usually tell you between 8 to 10 p.m. My first day, I'm driving a transit bus right through state. I mean, I'm missing trash cans, I'm missing cars. I'm like this, so I'm ready to continue to be a great bus driver because I've already done the hardest route, I think, so look forward to that.
No accident reports, right?
No accident reports, no. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our speakers, and it brings us down to board member comments. And I will say thanks, Mr. Riffle, because we've had several meetings on this. We've had hearings. We've had meetings before that. And, you're the first representative from the city that's come to speak. And I've always thought that there should have been more from the city. I mean, we've seen some other council members show up at a meeting, but, don't express it. And usually, you need to be on the ground floor of that. So I at least appreciate you showing up. And as far as facility, whatever happens, I think the rest of the board would know, and I think most of the board, we always try to look to the community first with these facilities when we leave them, because I'd much rather personally, I'd much rather that the city or some other entity took them, because the last thing you want to do is leave an abandoned building in downtown. That doesn't make anything better. And as far as the facilities for youth sports, that's another thing that I've always said. Of course, my time's short on the board, but facilities are paid for by taxpayer dollars, and they need to be community facilities, not just school facilities. So that's just something that I've always believed in. As far as some of the questions here, I can pass it down to you all, and then if you don't get what I have, then
I don't have first questions for Mr. Huffman. I did not say that about the two together. My statement was, I believe that Washington Irving should have a school built, and I said over at Robert C. Byrd. Mr. Lovano also had mentioned that, but he didn't support the idea of it over there. So that was my statement about that.
And if I may, I know some interaction. were concerned with the combining, but if you were concerned with the larger middle school numbers. And I believe you did make that statement in the first October hearing before the workshop. I believe, I have to go back and listen. That was my recollection of that.
I wasn't concerned about 800. We had 780 at one time. My concern was Washington and Irving should have a school bill. Yes, years ago. That was my concern.
I just want to clarify one thing, Mrs. Stutler, or is Harrison County Schools still on what they refer to as a site-based management system? Meaning that the administrators and the teachers are in charge of, using the term loosely, okay, but they're in charge of how they run their school, how they plan their activities and things of that nature. Are we still under the site-based management system? So in that sense, in regards to Mrs. Farrell and Mrs. Oliverio, yeah. It would take the combined staffs of Washington, Irving, and Mountaineer Middle, the combined staffs to address most of the issues that people are wanting you to hand down or to inform, like as far as schedules, teachers, what rooms they're assigned, busing. I'm pretty sure Mrs. Farrell and Mr. Rogers will be working with Mr. Lopez in making those decisions. So we are still based on a site-based management system, correct?
The administrators, I love that, because the administrators would be the first in the group to get together, and then they would start creating the master schedules, room assignments, getting the floor plans of the building. That's initially where it would start. So, and they're seasoned, we have seasoned veteran administrators. They know, they've done it. It's no different than if you're, changing your building around at any time. So I would trust that would be the way that would work.
They know
And
they're...
then we're there to support as they're working through their issues.
Okay, the other question is on transfer letters, open enrollment, when open enrollment starts this month?
We do that every year. That's not
In the spring, correct?
Every April, we send out the new transfer letters because we have students all over this county. In-county folks still fill out a transfer form year to year, so that is not anything unusual. We've got administrators currently here. That is something we've done for as long as I can remember. They go out this time of year. Usually in May, the principals all bring them back. We look at those students that are moving. It's been the same process for years.
I think that's it.
I just have a couple things. One, Jerry, I think you was in my office more than I was in my office. But you turned out all right. You've done.
My first Friday, I walked straight to your office just by habit. I don't know why. I turned around and come back and heard still out here.
And, the only thing I want to say is, I don't want the community and I don't want the teachers and all to say where we're going to go, where we're going to help or skelter or whatever. My grandfather always said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but then again, he wasn't the foreman on the job. I think people got to understand that this consolidation plan it is a very huge undertaking. But I tell you what, I wouldn't want anybody else to be in charge of it than our present superintendent, Mrs. Stutler, because I know that she's very thorough. And you know what? I always said nobody's perfect. There was only one, and he hung on the cross. So I just think that everybody needs to, just slow down a little bit. And we're not closing the school this year and moving in the fall. There's a year's distance in there to get everything in place so that there's a very smooth transition among our schools that are going to all go together. And believe me, I think that we got to give all of our teachers, all of our staffs, from cooks, custodians, everybody, a chance to work on it. Because, like I said, they're fantastic. I mean, there's no one person that can sit down and say, I'm going to handle everything. Won't happen. It all has to be everybody working together. It's like, if you're in a rowboat and one person rows the wrong direction, you're just going to go in circles. This way here, everybody gets in the boat, rows the same direction. We can't help to be successful here in Harrison County. Thank you.
Mr. Devano, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do want to say thanks to everybody. I apologize that I cannot attend in person. I do want everyone to know that I am available for conversation and discussion. I'll be at the Liberty Mountain meeting this evening. But I would like everyone to also know, especially Mr. Ripple, that I appreciate what you said in regard to working with the city council. One of the things that makes a group of people successful is discussion, communication. I have openly said that I'm not that I want a new WI. I've also openly said that I don't want it up at the middle school, high school, or CB. Maybe I'm one of four, maybe I'm 2 of 3. I don't know, but I do know that what we will do in the future is whatever happens, we will do the absolute best that we can to try and make sure that every student gets the right opportunity and the right support and the right help that they need, and that every staff member gets the right support, the right help that they need. This is not about trying to destroy anything. And my feeling in the matter is that whatever is decided, the people are what make it great. Not the building. It's the people that make it great. So that being said, I will be happy to see everyone tonight at Mountain Middle at 7.
All right, and I guess just in closing, there were some questions from Mr. Heflin again, and as far as extra security, IEP, busing, traffic studies, and things of that nature, I'm hopeful that we can get copies of those and have a work session, I think, before we take this vote to make sure that we have all of that information. I think that's what needs to happen, because there are questions that we don't have the answers to, and we're asking. So that's what, my hope is that if the rest of the board goes along, that we'll have a work session before that to at least get through these and get answers to these questions that were being asked. And as far as the meeting times, it wasn't discussed. These were put out, the meeting dates were put in the closing documents when they were released, and it wasn't a meeting that was set by me as the president for the board. So, that's not a question, I guess, for me, because I didn't set the meetings for this time. And I guess that's the only way I can answer that question. So with that, I think that pretty much.
Mr. Irving,
Yes.
there's one more question I think they had about how can the custodians get everything ready if this all went through, and how many other schools involved. Mr. Lopez, would you be able to enlighten us a little bit on that? It isn't just the custodians.
Yeah, it wouldn't just be the custodians, it could be a combination of the maintenance department, facilities that would work together depending on some of the accommodations and modifications that we made under the existing roof line. And the custodians certainly would be a part of that, but we have such a tradition of redoing every school in Harrison County, the floors and painting and redoing things through the summer that we're kind of built for that. That is something that we do. Now, it will be a challenge, and it will be a big challenge, but I'm confident that whatever happens, that the facilities department, working with the custodian, which they fall in that same category, will have personnel to be able to complete that.
Stuff was supposed to some of that last night, even without the rooms, some of the chemicals or whatever.
I guess my final statement is, I do appreciate with this building, I'm an alumni here from several years ago, and it may be old, but it's always been very well kept. I mean, some things you can't change. I mean, the age and some things break apart, but it's always clean, and the floors really look the best of any in the county, to me. I just appreciate that, and they don't make them like this anymore. So it doesn't matter what we build, they're not going to be of this, they're not going to be this sound. So this building's, it's been a good one. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?